Let's talk about a rivalry that's gaining steam. Charles Oliveira versus Ilya Topuria. During a recent press conference in Spain, Ilya Topuria was asked about Oliveira and didn't hold back. He threw some sharp insults, implying that Charles was washed up and no longer a threat in the division. That didn't sit well with Du Bronx. In an interview with AgFight, Oliveira responded with class, but made it clear he wasn't going to stay quiet. "I've been in the UFC for 15 years and never disrespected anyone. I think Topuria was out of line," Charles said. "The toughest division in the UFC is lightweight. I've been in it for years. I know the firepower I bring. Topuria needs to slow down and respect those who've earned their place. This isn't just about words, it's about legacy." Oliveira reminded everyone that experience matters, especially in a division as deep as 155. Whether or not these two end up sharing the octagon, the tension is very real. Let's see what Topuria fires back with, because this one's far from over. On the other side of the division, things just got even more personal between Tom Aspinall and Jon Jones. While fans have been speculating about a potential fight between the two champions for months, Aspinall finally broke his silence in a big way during an appearance on the Impulsive podcast. And he didn't just push for the fight, he directly accused Jon Jones of ducking him. "Is Jon Jones scared to fight you?" Logan Paul asked. Aspinall didn't hesitate. "Yes, absolutely." Tom explained that while he respects Jones's resume, he believes Jon is now avoiding dangerous opponents and manipulating public perception to protect his legacy. "Jon is conning the public, man," Aspinall said. "He didn't want to fight Ngannou for 3 years, and now he's been dodging me for over a year. He's a smart guy, I'll give him that, but he's definitely not taking the tough fights anymore." Aspinall also hinted that this might be part of a calculated media strategy from Jones, giving fans the illusion of competition while carefully managing risk behind the scenes. And he didn't mince words about what this means for the heavyweight division. At this stage of his career, I do think he's scared to take on real threats. And I'm a real threat. No official response from Jon Jones yet, but if this fight wasn't personal before, it definitely is now. With Aspinall holding the interim title and Jones still recovering from injury, the timing for a unification bout later this year is starting to make more sense. Now let's talk about food. Sean Strickland's latest adventure had nothing to do with the cage, but it still made headlines. In a now viral video, the former middleweight champ took a trip to Popeyes to try fried chicken for the first time. And if you're wondering why that's newsworthy, it's because Sean treated it like a life-changing cultural experience. "I'm a white man. I eat sushi and shat. I'm white trash, but I'm real white," he said before walking into the restaurant. The video shows Strickland laughing, joking, and nervously biting into his first ever Popeyes meal. The verdict? "That's some DMN good chicken. I might be a believer, man. I might be a chicken believer." Aside from the laughs, Strickland also used the opportunity to share an update on his health. After suffering a broken nose in training earlier this year, he confirmed that he's finally back to sparring. First day back to actual sparring. Nose a little sore, but it feels real good to be back. Got a purpose again. Looks like the recovery's going well. And if this version of Sean keeps showing up online, don't be surprised. If we get more food reviews between training camps, are fighters getting paid enough? Artem Vakhitov may have just walked away from a dream fight with Alex Pereira, and he says it came down to one thing: money. The former two-time Glory kickboxing light heavyweight champ made a big splash on Dana White's Contender Series last year with a brutal first-round KO. Fans immediately started buzzing about a potential trilogy bout with Pereira, who Vakhitov beat in their last kickboxing match. It felt like perfect timing. But this week, Vakhitov revealed he's not signing with the UFC after all. In an interview with Ariel Helwani, he said the UFC's standard Contender Series contract didn't meet his expectations. "Unfortunately, we could not reach an agreement. We saw the offer, and then saw the news that Russian fighters were coming back to Glory. They gave us a better deal, good money, and the possibility of becoming a double champion, instead of chasing a UFC debut. Vakhitov will stay with Glory kickboxing, possibly setting up a legacy run in 2 divisions. As for a third fight with Pereira, that door may be closed for now." Kamaru Usman just gave fans a rare look behind the scenes and shared a story few expected. In new footage from Kill Cliff FC, Usman is seen sparring with lightweight veteran Michael Johnson. And according to Usman, Johnson holds a unique distinction. He's the only person to ever drop him, inside or outside the cage. "I've been dropped one time in my entire career. Practice, competition, everything. And it was Michael Johnson. That's no small statement coming from a former welterweight champ with one of the most dominant runs in UFC history. Usman also talked about his potential return path and laid out his personal ranking for next opponents. He mentioned Sean Brady, Shavkat Rakhmonov, and Joaquin Buckley as ideal options before another title shot. If I had to pick, I'd say Brady, then Shavkat, then Buckley. If Brady beats me, which he won't, it's hard to deny him a title shot. Sounds like Usman isn't done yet, and he's already thinking a few steps ahead. Flyweight contender Jeff Molina has officially been handed a 3-year suspension by the Nevada State Athletic Commission for his role in a betting scandal that dates back to 2022. According to the commission, Molina failed to disclose that fellow fighter Derek Minner, his teammate at the time, was injured before a bout. Molina then placed bets on that same fight, which raised major red flags. What makes the situation even messier is the connection to James Krause, who trained both fighters and is currently under FBI investigation for fight-related betting schemes. After the news broke, Molina took to X to defend himself in a lengthy thread. He claimed the bets were small and not part of any fixing operation. My words were twisted. I wagered on the entire card. It's how I made side money when I wasn't fighting. My biggest bet was under $500, Molina wrote. I kept betting even after the UFC emailed us to stop. That was dumb. But a 3-year suspension is more than fair. He also pushed back on fans calling for a lifetime ban. Acting like 23-year-old me was this mastermind rigging fights is comical. The suspension will keep Molina sidelined until November 2025. The fallout continues, and this case is likely far from over.